Welcome back to another ProSeek tier list. Today we are ranking carb sources we normally see in a bodybuilding diet and for the goal of bulking. We're here with IFBB Pro Jordan Clark. So thanks for coming back, Jordan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So quickly, we'll run through the tiers. So we have Mass Monster at the top. So these are going to be sources that are absolutely great for bulks, meaning they digest really well. They are easy to eat a lot of, and they will help you get to your goals of eating a lot of carbs without filling your stomach too much. Beefcake, great sources, but maybe have something small about them, like maybe they're a little bit more filling than something else, or they don't digest quite as well as the ones above them. Dad bod, so these are sources that you can use. They serve a purpose, but one of the ones above them would probably be better. Like if you really like these sources, you can try it and put it in your diet, but they're not the most optimal. And string bean, even this, all these sources are pretty good, but string bean is just ones that maybe we would avoid just because the ones above them are better. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to rank these in 3 categories. So the first one is going to be digestibility. So how easy is it to digest? Nutritional value. So how much micronutrients are we getting from these? And satiety. So how filling is it? So obviously when we are dieting, satiety is a great thing because we want to be full and eat less food. When we're bulking, we're looking for a lower satiety score because that means we'll be able to eat more of it without feeling too full. So Jordan, let's go ahead and get started. And we'll start on the left side here with bread.
Bread, I would put that on Mass Monster.
Okay, so bread's going to Mass Monster. So how do we rank this with digestibility, nutritional value, and satiety?
So the digestibility, I believe for this would be a 7. Just because, bread sources it's a fast digesting carb. And nutritional value, not a whole bunch, depending on the type of bread that you buy. Like from sourdough, the potato bread, standard white bread, wheat bread. Nutrition value can value. So
It can
we're
vary,
talking about the standard, it vary, my fault. So if we're talking about standard bread, it's not very high. I'll put it to a 4. And it's pretty satiating. So I'd say, it can fill you up decently, but it's a fast digesting carb. So it will be, you can fill up fast, but then it'll go away fast as well. So I'll give it like a 5, averaging out to about 5.3.
Okay, great. Yeah. And then which types of bread do you think are the best? So I think probably sourdough is the easiest to digest, right? And
yeah,
then,
sourdough.
like you mentioned, potato bread and things like that may vary the nutritional profile a little bit better than normal, just like plain white bread.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's not super satiating because it's pretty carb dense, so easy to get a lot of carbs from bread.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up we'll have pasta.
I put that in second category. It was a beefcake. Yep.
Yep,
Beefcake. My score for that was an 8. I would give it an 8 for digestibility because once again, it's also a fast digesting carb. Nutritional value is low. Not much you get out of pasta unless you were buying like a protein pasta, which would be different. But standard pasta, not much nutritional value there. And 1 point off from bread is the satiating aspect of it. So I gave it a 6. So average out to about 5.3 as well.
Yeah, so maybe you thought it was a little easier to digest than bread, but obviously less nutritional probably,
Yeah.
and slightly less or slightly more satiating. So you think you can eat less pasta than bread for the amount of carbs you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess the limiting factor here is pretty low nutrition. And digestibility can be high, but also it can be impacted if you do have some sort of gluten intolerance. That's another like small limiting factor if you do have some sort of gluten intolerance to pasta. But yeah, so that's standard pasta. Of course, we have like the variations, just like with bread, where you can get pasta made out of lentils or protein enhanced or things like that can improve those profiles. But
right,
just standard pasta, yeah, not super nutritional, but very carb dense. So could be used if you can tolerate it well. Okay, so next up we have vegetables.
Vegetables. first category, Mass Monster. Very no, it's very they're very nutritional. You eat a lot of it could be high in fiber, especially if you get like a mixed bag of vegetables as well. So the nutrition value is extremely high. Of course, a lot of vitamins and minerals coming from those. Very satiating. You can eat a lot of it, um, and also get a lot. Have it be bit carb dense as well, and get a lot of protein in there as well. Um, and digestibility is really good. Typically, a lot of fiber and vegetables. Too, it's pretty easy. They're just pretty overall easy to eat. Especially how they're, like I said, most of the time grouped. You can get them in a mixed bag, so you don't have to really worry about, if you're gonna be missing anything specific.
Yes. So digestibility, yes, it's good because it has a ton of fiber and really good nutrients. Which vegetables? Obviously, it varies a lot, vegetable to vegetable. So, which
Mm-hmm.
ones are your favorite when you're bulking? So, we'd probably look for ones that are probably higher in carb content than like when we're dieting.
Yeah, I'll probably go with broccoli, cauliflower, almost basically the same thing.
I
And
really like green peas when I'm bulking. Yeah,
I'm not a fan of peas. Never been a fan of peas. It's just, could
they're
never really enjoy them that much.
yeah.
Peas are
I guess if you don't like the taste, I like the taste, but also they're
okay.
like much higher in protein and carbs, and they're a lot, I guess, starchier. So like it's easier to get more carbs from peas than something like zucchini, which you
uh,
can eat a whole bag and it's like 40 calories.
right.
But yeah, that's definitely a better one.
Also green beans as well.
Yeah,
Like green beans a lot.
yeah. So definitely important to keep in your diet even when you're bulking. But we can figure out. We can always change it around later if we're gonna go between the top tier or second tier. So next up we have legumes. So things in like the bean lentil family.
Uh,
Okay, so where would we put that? Which tier?
I'll put it in beefcake. 'Cause I wouldn't really
Okay,
put it. I really want to put it in mass monster because I just don't typically see coaches giving their athletes beans.
I
I
don't
don't
see
really
that
do
either.
beans a lot. I mean, it
But
depends,
why
but
not?
I'm just
Oh,
not.
why don't we?
Why don't us? I don't really know. I'm just also probably just from I can't really say from a cooking perspective because they're pretty easy to cook.
They're pretty easy. Even the
Yeah.
canned
So
ones, if you're already, you know,
exactly.
um, yeah, because I feel like they're. I feel like maybe coaches don't like them because it's not like a strict 100% carb source. It has a little bit of fat. It has a little, some protein in it. So I think when people make their plans, they like these have to be carbs only, protein only. So I think maybe people get mixed up because of that. But I feel like it would be pretty good when you're bulking. Or I use them in my plan now just so I don't have to like, once you get to like 300 grams of rice, I prefer not to go over that. So then instead of
Uh,
adding 400, you can just throw in some legumes, throw in some vegetables or fruits or things like that. We'll talk about later. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're pretty good and underrated,
yeah, probably
underutilized.
but yeah, it could be underutilized, but pretty effective.
Um, but we'll keep it there for now, and then we can come back. We can always change it up later. So next up, we have rice. So this is obviously this huge staple. So where would we
Yeah,
put that?
yeah, that's a beast monster, of course.
Yeah,
Can't be the digestibility of it. Give that 10 out of 10 on digestibility. Nutritional values, going to be low.
yeah,
Um, Especially since mainly it's just used as a very clean carb source. So you get a lot of carbs out of it. And
yeah, and it's not super satiating. So
not super satiating. Yeah,
that's good because we can eat a lot of it. So what did you put as a
exactly.
satiating score? The satiety score?
I give it 4.
Yeah, yeah. So that, like, yeah, you could eat a lot of rice and it digests super well. You can eat 300-400 grams and like you still have zero bloat, which is awesome.
Right.
Yeah, it's being carried by the digestibility because the nutritional value is not a ton there, but it's not very satiating. So you eat a lot of it and it digests super well. So that's why we keep it as a staple.
Right.
Okay, next up we have oatmeal.
Oatmeal. I'd put that in Mass Monster.
All right, so oatmeal, you're putting Mass Monster. What are we giving this one?
For digestibility, I put 9.
Hmm.
Nutritional values, definitely a 10. For satiating, for it's being satiating, give it a 10 as well.
Okay, so if it's very satiating, so meaning it makes you very full with
Mhm.
lower amounts, is that the? Do you think that'd be the best one to have in an off season? Do you eat a lot of oatmeal?
I eat a lot, pretty good amount of oatmeal. I mean, if you typically people put in their oatmeal, they'll put you know, you eat very little, but it's just because you also get a good amount of carbs out of it as well. Um, so I mean, on a bulk, it's not. It's like for the time frame that you'll be eating oatmeal, in my opinion, is a great way of getting your carbs in. Um, like you get your carb source in, even though you're bulking, you can still get the right amount of carbs in and be fine. It's not going to be like this. Oh, you ate this oatmeal, and it's going to be because it's very digestible. So it's not like it's going to be sitting around long in your system anyway. If it, you know,
Okay. Uh, you gave that, yeah, so pretty digestible, pretty nutritional. So you don't see the satiety as an issue because you think you can still get enough carbs. Okay. So then next up, we will try. I think a lot of people will sub these two things together. So we'll move ahead to this one. So cream of rice.
well, I probably put that. Well, since now I'll definitely put that in for a bulk.
Yes, that's what I would probably would
I
have
put it.
swapped
I
those
mean,
two because like it is so
I
easy to
mean,
get
no,
like 150 grams of carbs from cream of rice, but
mhm.
that's a lot of oatmeal that you'd have to eat to get 150 grams of carbs.
Yeah, I guess,
I don't know.
yeah,
What do
but
you think? It's your list. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, but it's like I'm saying oatmeal because also the nutritional value out of you get more
Okay,
stuff out of it as
that's fair.
well.
There's the protein. Yeah, there's
The
a ton of other
vitamins and
vitamins and
yeah,
fiber and
and all that stuff. Because and I get it, like I make case. So if we're just talking about like something that mainly it's just talking about in terms of mainly getting your carbs in the carb number,
right.
right?
So my argument for it would be like, let's say we're trying to eat 600 grams of carbs in our
Uh-huh.
day, and we have to get like 100 grams, 150 grams of carbs per meal. I think it would be a lot easier to get those carbs in from cream of rice than from oatmeal, just because oatmeal is a lot more satiating.
Yeah, I can say that.
But you can also say if you put oatmeal ahead of cream of rice because of the nutritional value, then that's a fair argument too.
I'll switch them for now. I'll put cream and rice above oatmeal on that
Okay.
list. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so then cream and rice, nutrition value is low, of course, like we just discussed, and then
Yeah.
sensitivity of it. Um,
Something like cream of rice it's a lot like rice, right? Because it's like very easy to digest, but even more condensed than rice. So that way it's even faster digesting. So you can even get more carbs in a shorter amount of time, and it's in and out of your system pretty quick.
right.
So next up, we have another one that's very low satiety. So what do you think about dates?
Um, in my opinion, they are very digestible.
Hmm.
Got a lot of fiber in them as well. Nutrition value is really high. A lot of vitamins and minerals, and they're really easy to get your carbs in with very little. So give that a one.
Yeah, yeah, satiety. You can eat like so many dates, and it's not very filling at all.
Yeah, definitely not.
I think it's probably the most sugar dense fruit.
One of them, definitely one.
Yeah.
Of 'em. I tried plenty of times to eat dates on my prep. I was like, oh, let me see if I can get a date. Nope.
So where would you put this one?
I put it dad bod,
Okay. So why are we putting it there?
just because you can use it. There's other things that you could use over it.
Hmm.
Um, and more or less like even because well, also got fruit in this category, so I put
Yeah.
fruit above, even though it technically is basically a fruit. I don't know.
Yeah, it is technically a fruit,
It
but I thought
is based on a
it's
fruit.
like, yeah, such a
It's
different type
a
of
bit
fruit. I thought
different, yeah.
yeah,
So I put fruit over dates.
so other fruits. Yeah.
Yeah, other fruits,
I'd probably
yeah.
put dates in the same category as like honey or something.
Mhm. I definitely agree with that one. I hear that.
Yes.
So you could use it. Is extremely necessary in a bulk. No, there's a lot of things you could eat
Yeah.
over that. and it's one of those like it's like a honey, like something I would take like a it's like a snack basically.
Yeah, or like
Give it
something to enhance your meal or add
yeah,
extra
enhance the
carbs.
meal. Yeah.
But yeah, it wouldn't necessarily be like you're not going to eat 100 grams of your carb meal with chicken with like 10, 20 dates.
Mhm.
So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. So then next up we have tortillas.
I'll probably put those in dad bod as well. Um, they're good. You can use them, but
Helps.
they're just not like I wouldn't overall like try to eat a whole bunch of eat
Yeah.
a whole bunch of tortillas. Because also typically if you're using them as a carb source, um, there's a lot more fat in tortillas. Like I would say, go eat
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
bagel.
there is.
Eat a bagel. It'll be have a lot more protein and carbs with
Hmm.
less fat than a tortilla. Shit, 'cause I had the small tortillas. I haven't talking about the big ones. I'm talking about the small ones. Small ones are have way more fat than a bagel. One from a bakery, bagel from a bakery, not some of these store ones.
Yeah. And then same thing with the tortilla. If you get like tortilla from a bakery, it actually even has higher fat than like the packaged ones.
Uh-huh.
Um, so yeah, that can definitely hold it back. And then how'd you
So
rate it for digestibility?
I gave a 5 for digestibility.
Okay. Yeah.
And then 'cause it does sit in you a bit, not very.
Yeah. Is
And then nutritional value, not much
not super high, especially
nutritional
we're talking
value
about
to
just
it.
like plain flour tortillas.
Yeah, so I give it a 3. I keep trying to say the word.
So yeah,
What
satiety.
satiety. Yeah, satiety, I gave it a 4 as well.
Yeah.
You get a
They're
lot of
not super
carbs.
satiating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get a good. You're not very satiating yet, and you get a good amount of carbs out of it. So
They are pretty carb dense, but the digestibility is not amazing and it has some fats. So and it's not super nutritional. So it's not that it can't be used, but these other ones above it are probably better choices. Okay, next up we have potatoes.
potatoes, I probably put potatoes. I put potatoes in dad bod as well.
Okay, so let's
But
talk about this one then.
I put them over tortillas and dates though. But
Mhm.
definitely, I put it in a dad bod, and I did the digestibility for that. It was no, but they're really digestible. To give it a 9,
Yeah.
nutrition value is 8, but the satiety is very high,
Yes.
very very high. So you gotta it's gonna to get your carbs, first, you're gonna be filled up a lot, and it's gonna be hard to get in
Yeah.
for the amount you have to eat. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, potatoes are an amazing carb source. They're very healthy, easy to digest, but the satiety is what holds it back when you're trying to purely put on size in bulk and eat a ton of food, just because they are so satiating. If this list was like a carb source for dieting, this whole list would look very different. But yeah, in terms of purely trying to get in your carbs, be able to eat a lot of quantity, that's what holds the potatoes back, just because it's very satiating. Okay, so next up we have now sweet potatoes. So that's probably going to be a similar issue. So where do we rank this one?
mm, I put it right behind. Um, I put it yeah behind dad in dad bod, but behind potato, since they're this basically almost the same, but they also have a lot of different things as well. So digestibility for it, I gave it a 9. Nutrition value
Mhm.
is high, give it a 10, and then satiety, give it a 10 as well. But when it comes to the carbs, you get a bit more carbs out of a regular potato than a sweet potato. Um,
Yes, it's even less carb dense than a normal potato.
right.
Um,
I mean, less
and
carb dense, yeah, less carb dense, yeah.
it has more fiber and it has some sugar alcohols too, naturally. So yeah, I guess those things can impact how much you can eat and digestibility a little bit too. All right, so then we have our final one, which are just fruits. So obviously, this also varies a lot by what fruit we're talking about, but we're talking about it as a whole category first.
I'll probably say, I mean, that goes in beefcake. I put that in beefcake, definitely. Fruit that very important. Especially the digestibility of it is high.
Hmm.
It's 10. I give it a 10. Nutritional value 10, but the satiety of it gave it a 6. Just you have to would, you know, eat a lot to get your, carbs in.
On
Um,
average, for sure. But there are definitely some very carb dense fruits that might be better if we were talking about bulking, so like mango or
mhm.
sweet cherries.
Bananas have a lot of carbs on them
Yeah,
too? Yeah.
bananas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, then on top about
Dates obviously are a fruit, but yeah, those are
berry
like,
blueberries.
yeah, no, the blueberries would probably be on the other end where it's like you can eat quite a bit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
blueberries also have, I mean, a ton of micronutrients. But yeah, those are those more carb dense ones. Yeah, like bananas, mango, cherries. What else I say?
Strawberries.
Pineapple, maybe. But yeah, things like strawberry, melons, berries, and melons in general are like super low because they have so much water content. But so I guess that's probably what brings the average of fruits down.
Uh,
But yeah, they are very easy to digest. Good source of carbs, a ton of micronutrients and antioxidants. If you had to pick, so would you still pick vegetables over fruits for bulking?
hmm. If you're talking about, if you're trying to go the cleanest way for bulking, I would say yes. But if you're, I mean, you're saying, okay, well, you say fruits aren't clean, but sometimes people like want to avoid the sugar aspect of it. I guess
Do you think that's an issue in your
not a
like?
terrible issue, but if we're going to really try to nitpick, like really, really nitpick.
Mhm.
I mean, most of the time, even like you'll see in people's programs when they're dieting, their coach will like take like from some girl I see who posted a lot of talk about it. Like their coach will take away their blueberries that's in their diet, but they won't take away their vegetables though.
But that makes sense when we're dieting, right? Because we're trying to choose like the
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you're trying to really
lower
clean
carb.
diet, if you're trying to clean diet, like they're both great because clearly they're
Hmm.
close to each other in the rankings. But if you're gonna put one over the other, I say
You
vegetables.
put
If the
vegetables.
sugar
Hmm.
aspect of it is the vegetables are gonna be higher than the fruits.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Vegetables definitely won't have as much sugar.
So I would say, yeah, vegetables, yes, but then fruits are, of course, like right behind it. So I
Yeah,
would say definitely, yeah, yeah. But if you're just talking about doesn't matter really, or yeah, fruits are if just as good.
okay,
So I would still put vegetables over top.
okay. So if we have to kick a couple down the string bean, which ones do we put down there? So ones,
Tortillas,
okay, yes,
tortillas
tortillas.
can go, and we're talking about probably pasta down. Probably
Yeah.
keep it like this, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay, so you put potatoes over pasta.
Yes, actually. Yes.
Okay, so why
Because
is
how
that?
much? Because how much? Do we know how much fat is in a potato versus in a sweet
Almost
potato?
nothing. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
pasta's always gonna have.
Basically all three of them have very, very little fat.
Yeah. So and we're
But
talking. This is about carb sources. So what's the bet? So we're just talking about carb sources. Really,
I
I would
think, yeah,
say.
pasta's obviously a lot more carb dense
Uh
and
huh.
has a lower satiety, so it's like you'd eat a lot more of it,
Uh huh.
but the nutritional value is a lot worse, and it is gluten based. So if that is an issue, then that could mess with people's digestibility.
Uh
So then potatoes are super easy to digest for almost everybody. They have a ton of good nutrients in them, like potassium and whatever else, and but they are very satiating. So that's the
huh.
only limitation on that one. So which one would you keep down here, and which one would you put ahead of it
I mean, I almost want to move potato up to
okay
beefcake and then put pasta there in front of sweet potato.
in dad bod,
Uh,
and then split sweet potato here? And how would we rank these within it? So starting in mass monster, what do you think the best carb source is? Number one, if you had to pick one.
rice,
Probably,
then cream of
and
rice right
then
behind it, vegetables, and then bread.
okay, and then in beefcake, what's after that?
You can go fruits, then beans, then potatoes, then oatmeal.
Okay, and then pasta, sweet potato, dates. I think that's probably right, right?
Yeah, possibly, yeah. And then
And
tortilla.
then tortilla. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the main reason for tortilla being in string bean is just because if we're trying to choose a carb source, it's probably the last one we choose out of the major ones, just because it has a little bit of fat content and it's not as easily digestible.
Uh-huh.
So those are like the two big limiting factors there, which is why we would usually pick one of these other ones ahead of it. Not that you can't use it though. Okay. Everything else look good?
Yep. My opinion, yes.
So thanks, Jordan, for coming on, and we'll see you next week for another tier list.
Sir, thank you.